So Pranayama Deep Breathing is the first breathing exercise in the Bikram series. It brings together, well, I think the mind to the body with the bridge of the breath. It's pretty beautiful. Now Prana is the life force. Yama is how we self-regulate ourselves in terms of moral ethics towards others. So Yama is how we take care of something. Prana is the life force. So we're bringing the prana in through the movement of pranayama breathing, and then we take care of it, regulate it, the yama, through the constriction of our throat, which is gonna make sense in a second. So let me demonstrate it one time for you real fast. So notice the expansion on the inhale, how the lungs and ribcage opens. On the exhale, how the chest contracts. See, this is what's drawing in the prana. The life force is being brought in through the movement of the body, and I like to think of the body as an instrument. Think of an accordion. Now, when you think of an accordion, when you have an accordion, you open it, you expand it by grabbing both ends, the air is drawn in, like a giant inhalation. When you have the accordion and you close and contract it, all the air is pushed out like an exhalation. But the thing is, the accordion, in and out, it is breathing in a sense, it's mechanical, but it's not conscious. And that's the best way to think about the body when we do pranayama deep breathing. So think of your body, your chest, your rib cage, as an accordion. Open, expand on the inhale, close and contract on the exhale. And how do we do that? Well, there's a lot of muscles involved. The most important muscle is the diaphragm. That is the muscle that's directly under the rib cage. I'll show you what it looks like. So again, the mechanics of this breathing exercise. On the inhale, you use your diaphragm to open and expand. On the exhale, use the front side rectus to close and contract. The arms are accessories, but they should never be the main focus. So try not to lift your shoulders and try to get extra height if you don't have that naturally. What that does is it creates a slouch and it creates a hunch. Keep your shoulders relaxed, use the diaphragm and the arms to open and expand. And then use the abdomen, the rectus abdominis, and the chest to close and contract. Okay, so that's the mechanics of pranayama deep breathing. Now the next thing I want to go over is how do you regulate the breathing? So the prana aspect, what brings the air in and brings the air out, which is already happening without us consciously being aware of it. The best thing to do is to keep the breath regulated. I mean, there is an inhale, exhale sound, but it's not extravagant like it's more like this. Listen. Can you hear that? Right in the throat muscles, and then watch again on the exhale. So this took me many years to understand how to do, to be able to regulate the throat muscles enough so I can like squeeze the throat like a valve. As a beginner in the series, we teach knuckles under the chin, thumbs glued to the throat, and that right there, as you can tell, it starts to constrict my throat. Now that's not the only way we need to constrict the throat. As a beginner yoga student, it's good to press your knuckles, thumbs against the throat a little bit because it gives you an idea of how your throat can be used like a valve. Open valve, close valve, right? And the valve is what regulates the airflow. Is in terms of correction, where we need to correct and adjust, is sometimes it's not connected, right? So I'll often see this. And it's like a movement of the body and an inhale and exhale, but there's no connection. And that right there is totally what we want to avoid. Make sure the breath is synchronized with the movement of the arms, or vice versa. The movement of the arms and head is synchronized with the rhythm of the breath, like this. It's not before, where the inhale finishes early, or after, where it's like, okay? It's the movement of the mechanical side and the side that regulates it, so the prana and the yama. It's the movement of them together, right? That we're trying to bring in this first breathing exercise. So a couple other things. Keep your body straight. From the side profile, you should have your shoulders, your hips, and your heels all in one straight line. And when we do the breathing exercise, avoid leaning forward on the inhale or collapsing back on the exhale. Try to keep it straight. But we have to recognize and remember that when we do pranayama breathing, we want to keep our body as straight like in other yogas, the mountain pose. Shoulders, hips, and heels in line. The only thing is our feet are together. And on the inhale and exhale, only the arms and the head are moving. Now, in terms of engagement, a lot of people talk about, do I squeeze the butt really tight? Often hear teachers say, keep your legs really squeezed. I think more than anything, keep your legs firm, but don't waste all your energy on making them super tight. Squeeze from the pelvic floor. This is a good time in pranayama breathing to connect with what we call the bandhas. So you squeeze from the pelvic floor, that lifts up through the diaphragm, right? So the Mula bandha is the pelvic floor. The lift of the diaphragm in this area, the solar plexus, that's the Uddiyana bandha, and then the lift of the throat is the Jalandhara bandha, is what they call it, or Jala bandha for short. So, squeeze the bandhas. That keeps everything pulled into the center. Pelvic floor, that'll keep the rear and the hips area nice and engaged. Pull up from the diaphragm, of course, in the breathing, and then also with the throat on the inhale, lifting, and then on the exhale, contraction. If you pull up from here, and here, you'll have a nice balanced body, a nice engagement, and that'll also help keep your body in a straight line from the side. It's when we drop from here that we have the slouch, or we drop from here that we get the sway, or we drop from here that we get the hunch. So the bandhas, that'll be a whole nother lesson for you. If you're interested, message me on the comments. Thank you. Namaste. Peace.